It's cold, a little colder out this morning here, but unfortunately it smells like gasoline in my office because I'm above the garage, and sometimes the older cars, I don't know. They just have a stronger smell of gasoline. So, anyways, works. Yep. So next one down, HTBX. Too cheap, floats too high. I'm not gonna go for that. Next one down, Solo, no volume. MDIA, no volume. Urban, too expensive, floats too high, no volume. ALIM has 1,500 shares, so it's basically no volume. As I look at these, and just looking at the gap scan, our leading gapper is only 33%. So let's put that in context. Earlier this week, we had 100, even almost 200% gappers. So, we're not seeing that here this morning. This morning, I think it's going to be important to be a little bit more, conscientious about what we're willing to trade. We need to see A quality setups. It's possible that one of these will start to open up and give us some really good opportunities, but it's also possible that today's just going to be a little slower. A slow day can be a good opportunity to, look at some swing trades and stuff like that, or maybe even venture into the large cap stocks. I'm not sure what Mike is looking at today. Let's see what his watch list looks like. So I know he had a swing trade on NIO, which is pretty good, but that he's taking profit on, so that's not a new trade. Let's see. Did he have anything on watch for day trade? CRM, Salesforce? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a big gap. I suppose that maybe makes sense in this current climate with everything so much being online, more online business, and maybe that has converted to more sales for them. But obviously it's higher priced, so I don't think I would see anything there for me. Again, obviously Amazon, Tesla are higher priced too, but those are swing trades. This one, in terms of trying to day trade it, I don't know. I'll leave that to Mike, I think. We can see over the next couple of days, depending on the price action, it's possible that there would be an opportunity if it starts to fade off this gap to sell a covered call on it, or a cash secured. Well, you could do that too, but a credit spread is what I really meant. So maybe, but kind of like Facebook after earnings, a big gap up here and then consolidation for a couple days and then a breakout. We're kind of seeing something similar with Apple, the kind of gap up, pull back, and continuation. So there might be an opportunity there for a swing trade, but for day trading, I think that that's going to be some risky business on CRM. I'd like to think that there's going to be something better than that, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it is up 15%. I don't know. 866 million share float. So back to the top of the scan. Time. We're sitting with 24 minutes to the bell. I haven't seen any breaking news or anything that just jumped up on the gap scan. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't know. So maybe what we'll do here, we've got 20 minutes, 25 minutes to the bell. This might be a day where we kind of sit tight a little bit, pre-market. It's kind of like being a hunter, fisher, fishing. I don't know. Kind of just sometimes it's a little bit of a waiting game, sitting and waiting. You know what you're looking for, and it only takes one or two, but they're not there. They're not there. No sense in wasting shots if there's nothing on a squirrel. It's a mouse. That's not going to work. So we want to take down a something big, and I don't see it right now. We might, but at this very, very moment, I don't see it. So we're looking for a buffalo. Yeah, that's right. We're looking for something big. So 100, 200, 300, 400% momentum stock, something to really open up. So we need breaking news, or if not breaking news, something hitting the scanner that all of a sudden catches momentum. And the thing I'll say about that is, on a day like today, think about the stock market as a vast savanna. And, you've got all these traders sitting on the sidelines looking, waiting for something to pop up. Now, on a day like a couple days ago, you've got 200% gapper walking across. That's the buffalo. It's just walking right across. Everyone sees it. Everyone's going to go for it, and it's going to be predictable. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities. On a day like today, most folks, again, you've got some sideshow stuff. You've got CRM, and you do have some of these higher float stocks that some people might go for. I don't think most people would, but some people might. But you're going to have a lot of people that are sitting and waiting. And so if something all of a sudden pops up on the scanners and starts ripping up and goes up 50%, 75%, 100%, all of a sudden it's like out of nowhere, up pops this opportunity, and now you've got a lot of people sitting around looking for it and now seeing it and then jumping on it. So sometimes when nothing else is happening, the scanner can be helpful because it shows us what's moving right now. Of course, scanners are readily available to traders all around the world. And so it basically helps us identify opportunity, and then just simply through awareness and everyone else using similar scanners and things like that, now all of a sudden people are all seeing the same opportunity. It starts to open up, and it kind of becomes the one stock. That's not always true. Sometimes the Momo scanner, just a bunch of false alerts. And sometimes that's because we already have something that traders are focused on. And so the Momo scanner popping up an alert of something that's up 18%, it's not significant enough for people to really care about it, so it gets ignored. But on a day like today, people are going to be looking for something. And most traders are not content with only taking 1 or 2 trades a week. Most want to take a couple trades every day. And so, this is going to be one of the ways that we will find stocks moving. So plan, not sure about that. Works, back to that one. Thank you guys on Facebook and YouTube who are tuning in. Hopefully you guys have hit the thumbs up and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, make sure you do that. Let's see. I have a new episode on tire kickers that I'm going to put out maybe later this week, I think. It's going to be the Mustang. So those who have not already checked out my hobby channel of tire kickers, make sure you do that. Got a couple things in the works for videos coming up soon. With Craig, we got the drone out, and we got some good drone shots. So it's gonna be pretty sick. FLDM, let me look at that. See, this one doesn't do it for me. I mean, it is pulled back too much. Let me look at the float on it. FLDM. Yeah, no, 69 million share float. I'm not interested in that. I just don't see it right now. WKHS, let me look. Yeah, it's a continuation, but without a catalyst, it's a little bit probably riskier. Let's check SHLL from yesterday. That one was pretty nice. So, ended up being kind of a topping tail candle. Hit a high and then pulled back. I see this one. I don't see the headline on it, but I do see 27 million share float. Kodak, yeah. It's had a couple little pops off the low, but I think it's getting played out. Xbot, yeah. So this is the risk with swing trading small caps and even just holding small caps overnight. There's direct offering, secondary offerings. SGLB, it's a shame. Really is a shame that it came back down that much. You know, unfortunately, when this happens, you know, it starts to create, you know, when you have this pattern of a gap getting faded that much, you're going to have people that are going to try to swing trade them to the short side. And, you know, that's going to be a viable strategy when this continues to happen. But, of course, you will have some where people will start taking swings earlier and earlier. And then you get the one that all of a sudden rips through the high and epic short squeeze. So, you know, it works until it doesn't. Shares available to borrow is obviously going to be a challenge. We have 15 minutes to the bell. We know the high on, well, this is going to be breaking yesterday's high on Tesla. The all-time highs right now are 2169. If that level breaks, I'd look for a move up to 2250. IMUX on that big price target. So this is kind of interesting because this is, I mean, a pretty perfect bounce off the 200 moving average. Not that you would have been able to predict that this news was going to come out today, but as it turns out, yesterday was a bounce off the 200, and now today with that news out. But realistically, this would have to get over probably $20, 21 to really start to look good. FLDM. Again, it's relative to the move up to 22. I mean, you're right that it's bounced from 10 to 11. I wouldn't call that parabolic though, because it's, I mean, I don't know. you still have to look at the 5-minute chart. But yeah, I do see that. But I don't think that I don't think that I like that. So trade the best, leave the rest. And you have to remember that an A quality setup in a market where we're not seeing good follow through may not resolve as well as in a stronger market. So that can be a little confusing at first because you think, oh wow, this is an A quality setup. But in the environment where stocks are fading and nothing is holding up, then it's like, well, can you really trust it? And that's a challenge. So sometimes doing the exact same thing on one day can produce huge profits, and on another day doing the exact same thing, trading the exact same setups, results in losses. And the variable there is the condition of the overall market. So as part of the pre-trading checklist, did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Do you have a couple stocks on watch that you like this morning? I don't. I mean, except for maybe swing trades. If you do, what's the condition of the overall market? The overall market, I made 46,000 on Monday. I made 10,000 yesterday. I'm up 56,000 on the week. It's not bad. It's terrific. But yesterday, we didn't see very good continuation, which was a little discouraging. And now today, I'm not seeing anything that looks good, and our biggest gapper is only 30%. So I think today, to be honest, I'm probably going to be focusing more on swing trades and looking for something that I can hold through Friday, for the next couple of days. And maybe something pops up on the high day Momo scanner, gives us a surprise opportunity. Maybe. That would be awesome. That would be, kind of best case scenario. We didn't get breaking news at 9. We didn't get any more breaking news at 9:15. So nothing else has sort of popped up here in the last few minutes. And FDLM or FLDM, I'm just not really liking it for the 3 reasons. Number one, the price is a little higher. Number two, the float's a bit higher. And number three, it already had a high of $22 and then came all the way back down here to 10. That's 50% pullback. I would say that there's clear resistance at 11.89 on this. If that level can break, okay, maybe there's something there. But until then, I'm just not sure. All right, so that's FLDM. I'll put it as a maybe, and I would say, $12 is the spot where, maybe. But I just have low expectations for it. I just feel like it's already B quality due to the float and the chart. So CRM, this one is higher priced. And to be honest, it's in terms of setup quality. If I saw this pattern right here in a $5 or $6 stock or $10, $12 stock, I'd be all over it. I'd be like, where's my entry? Break at the pre-market high, 49, 250. But this is not obviously this is not a small cap stock. This is a very expensive stock. It's going to use a lot more buying power, I just don't know if it's. I haven't traded this one before, and sometimes these ones you take a trade and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're down $2 a share, $3 a share. I mean, they can go the wrong way real quick. So generally, though, I would say it looks like a long over the pre-market high of 250. Maybe I could take a stab at it with smaller size and see if I could make 500 or $1,000, and then from there build up a cushion. Alternatively, if it broke below the low down here, it could be a short, for a gap fade. So there could be some opportunities on it, but it's just risk and reward. I don't know. It's going to be a little higher risk. So that one I'll say I'll put a 500 share order, so it's kind of ready to go. It's probably the best looking one in terms of pre-market charts. Still have 7.5 minutes to the bell. Tesla over 2060. I don't think I'm going to try to day trade that one. It's hard to day trade. It's also kind of hard to swing trade, but MGNI continuation setup. Well, it just has no volume, so that one's not going to work. FLDM, you can see kind of struggling at the $0.50 there, hit 51 and pulled back. Yeah, I mean, this was on 32,000 shares of volume, that initial candle. It's on light volume, but then it came right back down, and that was starting at 4 a.m. All right, so yeah, SHLL. I mean, if you got a good entry for a swing trade, maybe there's something there, but I haven't, so that one's not gonna, I'd have to just look for day trades. And what's not uncommon with Facebook, Apple, some of these big stocks that gap up, it's not uncommon into those gaps to see, like CRM, to see some profit taking from people who have been holding the stock for a while. So, it wouldn't surprise me to see it fade a little bit, but I'm not really sure I'm interested in going short on it either. I just don't know that it's... I think it's a stretch. It's probably better to not trade than to trade something like that in terms of outright stock. If a swing trade setup forms, then that's fine, but I think that one's just going to be a little too risky. So today is going to be a sit and wait kind of day with 5 minutes to the bell. Remind you guys not to blindly follow me or anyone else. You've got to do your due diligence. You've got to understand the strategy. The purpose of me doing this every day is so you can learn my strategy. You can learn it in the starter classes, you can learn it in the pro classes, and you certainly should trade it in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Those of you guys who, for whatever reason, have had a series of losses, maybe before you start learning with me, or whatever the case is, if you're in a place where you're red right now on, your career as a trader, whether it's by $1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is that you're in the red on, I want you to know, number one, that I've been there, and I know how demoralizing it can feel to be in that situation. And on the other hand, how exciting it can feel every single day to sit down knowing that you have another opportunity to start to turn the corner, because you never know which day is the day where you're going to start turning the corner. And there's no such thing as a trader who makes money, like just on every single trade and doesn't have losses. The difference between someone like John and me and Jess and those in the 100K club and perhaps you is that our winners generally are going to be a little bit bigger than our losers, and we're going to win a little bit more than we lose. And so it's a very kind of fine line and a balance, and becoming a profitable trader is just gradually moving basically from losing less to losing less and less and less and less. It doesn't mean you'll never lose. And there'll be a point where all of a sudden you're like, wow, it's been, 3 weeks since my last really big blow up day. And all of a sudden my account is starting to actually grow. And then eventually you'll have a day where, boom, you have a little setback. And that's where you have to be able to have the discipline to stay true to yourself, to your strategy, to not start flailing because you're, nervous. And to remember that the only way to recover that loss is one trade at a time. And so, it doesn't matter if you've lost $150,000 or $200,000 trading. If today is the day that you have the discipline to stick to your strategy, to follow the rules of your strategy to trade less, to trade A quality setups, then it's only a matter of time ultimately before you make back those losses. And that's what I kept telling myself. Even if I can just start consistently making $200 a day, that's $50,000 a year. Will that take me a year or 2 years to make back everything I've put into this career? Yeah, but at that time I was in my 20s, and I was like, I still have this whole future ahead of me. So $50,000 a year then for the rest of my life, that's fine. It's the challenge that, sometimes through desperation or through our own, like high expectations that we set for ourselves, and then kind of the emotional response to falling short, that we start making decisions that are more emotionally fueled and not as, solid on the really sound logical strategy side. So be smart, and this is especially important today as the market feels a little slower. It's going to be especially important, in the coming weeks if we have to kind of grind on smaller numbers while we wait for those next, couple of big parabolic stocks. So CRM with 90 seconds to the bell is broken through that pre-market high of $250 with a right now, 30-40 cent spread. The volume is also quite light on it for this price, so I'm just gonna say, it's a nice idea, but now it's kind of going without me, and I don't want to chase it at this price range. These spreads are gonna open to 40-50 cents. They're 30 cents right now, 30-cent, 50-cent spread. So I'm glad to see it breaking the whole dollar, but sometimes it goes without you, so I'm gonna have to wait for the next pullback. And I can tell you that on my swing trade account, I'm a little upset with myself because I day traded Tesla in it on Friday, and took a big loss. Which I'm not making $10,000 on my swing trades. I'm making between usually $500 and $1,000. So to lose $10,000 on 2 day trades on Tesla wipes out like 10 to 15 good swing trades. That feels like a real disappointment, and it's just something that I have to sit with. I can't force it. I can't say, oh, I'm just going to trade in TD Ameritrade to make back those losses. I've just got to let it be. So just sit with that. Try not to force it. Just focus on taking good trades today. So with that, we've got about 10 seconds to the bell, but really nothing that I'm closely watching here coming into the open. So, CRM, I'll keep an eye on. It looks interesting, but I don't know that I'll be able to trade it just yet. All right, so I'm wondering if we'll see some CRM profit taking. I see FLDM seller at 12. There's 12.15. So, FLDM and there's CRM picking up a little bit, but neither of these are really perfect for me. I think it's better to be smart. Wait for good quality setups. Don't force it. Don't chase stuff. Chasing CRM here at $53, $54. I can't do that. 253, 254. BYFC, yeah, I'll check that one. I was just looking at FLDM and CRM. So BYFC halted at $1.90, 263,000 shares of volume. Float on BYFC is about 12 million. Nice little trade there, John, on Works. FLDM rejected 12, back to 1140. So I can look up the float. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but I can look it up. Nice, good call on Works. So the pre-market high on it was 42. After hours was 40. So, 40, 42. Seems like traders are kind of focusing on Works right now. It's got the highest volume, but I'm a little cautious that it's under the 200 moving average, although I guess it does have certainly room up towards 3. I would say waiting for a pullback is probably going to be the smarter thing on Works. The high right now is 41. The only problem is it might end up being one that doesn't really pull back. It just kind of rips. But a break of 40 is the spot to watch. Let's see as it pulls back here. The low down there is 25. Does it hold this level? 24, 23. It's fading back a little bit more. 20. VWAP is 18. I'll take a bounce off VWAP there at 22 long. So I'm trying to buy the bounce off the volume weight average price, and then my add spot will be the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, which is going to be 30. So I'm going to put my order at 430 to add. BYFC, I'm just going to wait on that for a second because the volume's pretty light. So Works, looking for the break over 230. There's 28, there's 30. So it only hit like 31. I'm out. Taking small profit on it. BYFC, the high was 99. I'd rather, if I can get entries closer to the VWAP, on these, then I feel like I'm managing risk a little bit better than buying at the very top. Yeah, I see Apple. So yeah, I'm down like 150 on my 550 call on Apple, but again, it's so far out that I'm not really worried about that too much. Not yet, anyways. Amazon, fine. Tesla, I don't see a. Again, the low of this pullback down here, 1900. So selling 1900 puts, but honestly, it's too high. You know, you're not going to get a good price on them, and I don't really want to take a short trade on Tesla because it keeps going higher. So no trades on that one right now. Yeah, break even. Works, may give another setup. The high is 41. I'm going to wait. I don't want to be a buyer at the high. I want to wait for a pullback. New high is 46. So on this one, I'm going to let it pull back for a second here. The high, 46. See, now this candle still has 30 seconds left. At the moment, it looks like a red topping tail. You know, so that's where all of a sudden, if I bought right here, it's like I just bought a red topping tail. It's not a great candle. Nice call, John, on FLDM. Back up towards 12. The high is 1220. The thing with FLDM is that it's obviously trading with a lot of volume. So first 5-minute candle to make a new high would be back over 12. This right here is forming a little pullback. I'm going to look to see if I can get a trade in this area. I did a 1 second long trade in at 12 and out at 1204 there, but only with 2,500 shares. So only made $100 on it. It was literally a 1 second long trade. The new high there was 1210. So watching back in, no fill. All right, so I didn't get filled on my back end. The high is 30. Long at 26, taking a starter, looking for the breakthrough 30. Took profit at 38 and the rest at 31. So now I'm up $300 on it. I'm trading a little smaller until I can get a good entry. Let's watch to see if it bounces off of 12. Works, nice. So I missed that entry there on Works at 47, although realistically it's only at 52, so probably not a big deal that I missed that. I'm long FLDM at 1208, buying that dip off of 12, and I'm going to put my new order at 1230 to add. You can see how this 10-second chart is curling. Watch 1220. Adding right there. Looking now for the breakthrough 30. Orders at 1230. Looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high and adding there at 33. We got a nice little break there up to 30. Stopped out, up $700 on it. First candle to make a new high failed. It hit a high only of 34. TRNE hitting the scanners. I'm not sure about that one just yet. Works had a high of 255. Better price range on that one. Back in Works here, 51. So I'm looking for Works to break through 55. There's 60. Nice. Taking profit, 58. Is it going to keep going through 60? Yep, taking a little more profit, 61. Stop, break even on the rest. It was a nice trade. The high of this is 62. But I'll say that today definitely feels like quick base hits. Not a day to overstay your welcome. So the high here is 62. I'm going to put my next order at 63. Long at 58. Now looking for the squeeze. There's up 65, taking a little profit, 63. Small trades until I can get, finally a bigger breakout. The new high is 65. Sold the rest there at 56. Up only 2,400 on Works, so up 3,100 on the day. FLDM and Works, both of these are I want to keep a close eye on. So FLDM, high of the last candle was 1209, high this one's 1215. High a day is 1240. Maybe I'll just put my order at 1240 for right now. Nice on Jan. So headline there. You can watch Jan on resumption. Tesla. Let's see. Nice on Works, back up through 60 or 260. High is 65. I put my order at 68, 67. Over 60. I'm long at 60 right there. Looking for the breakthrough 65. Adding at 65. There's 68, 69. Taking profit. Stop the rest at 63. New order goes at 70. Moving my order up to 71. Micro pullback here. Long at 65. Buying that dip for the breakthrough 70. There's a seller there, but we'll see if it can break through that level. Orders at 70, so it's ready to go. If I see that seller come down, I'm going to be punching the buy button. Watching. Adding there, 70. So not the big break through that level that I was looking for, and I'm taking my profit back out at 69 and 67. added at 70 and sold at 70, 71, 69, and 67. That's okay though. It was worth a stab. Wow, Tesla, man. This thing is ripping. So, you know, here's the thing on Tesla. The all-time high is right there at 21.29, and that just ripped up to 2100. So you know, it's starting to look like we might get that break through the highs. FLDM. The high of this current 5-minute candle is 19. So I think what I'm going to do on FLDM, this candle still has 20 seconds left on it, and the current high now is 25. I'm just going to put my order up at 1240. Well, unfortunately, I think this one's going to go without me, because now the two 5-minute candles, it needs now 1 minute pullback. It's a nice trade, but I missed the entry. Then you've got the $0.50 right there, so have to wait for a little bit of a pullback. It's a 40-cent pullback there down to 12. Jan. So resumption on Jan is going to be right there. Watching Jan. Slight volume. Looks like there's sellers on it. So the high is 40. There you go. So there's that pop through the high, little micro pullback. The new high is 75. Move an order up to 9. Let's just see what it does though. This one's got lighter volume. There's a 20,000 share buyer at 99. So the high is 77. I'm long on Jan for the breakthrough 9. We've got 97 on the ask. Orders at 9 to add. Adding right there at 96 for the breakthrough 9. The next halt level is 933. This right here is a 1 minute micro pullback underneath $9. There's 95, 97, 98. There's 9. New orders at 910. I'm going to let it pull back for the next entry. So I took my profit. I'm going to let it pull back here. Watching dips. High of this candle's 908. I'm buying at 84. I just bought that dip right there at 84 for the pop back up over 9. And over 910 is going to be an add. Adding at 9 right there. Looking for the breakthrough 910. And then up over 915 towards 950. So we've got 9 on the ask. A little bit of resistance there that I want to see break. Watching dips to add off the $0.50. The VWAP is at 62. So some nice action on this one. Watching dips because I want to add off of the volume weighted average price. Added at 69 right there. Bought that dip. So looking to catch the pop now back over 9 through 910, 915. Since we have a fresh catalyst, I'm thinking that we might get some good opportunities on Jan. We'll see. It's got to break through 9, then 925, 950 for a move up towards 10. Watching for the add over 9. Stopped out for now. I'm going to put my new order to buy the next dip. Added at 52. Trying to buy that dip. $51, $50, $48. So it's a little choppy. Sold the rest of it there. Only $1,100 of profit on it. So now we have a green doji on the 5-minute. 1 minute was looking good, but needed to hold that level. I think the works both lags on the 5-minute chart. The 1 minute, not so much. The 5-minute, 3 candles up, but it's not there yet. FLDM. Yeah, so FLDM. I'll put my order at the $0.50 of $12.50. The first 5-minute candle to make a new high, though, it did break there. So, you know, it needs to pull back a little bit. Give us a 5-minute setup. FLDM, I'm just kind of watching it. Nice. Good job, man. That's awesome. That's a lot of money for day one. Take it easy. I mean, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. That's you must have been trading with some big size. I mean, I'm not even. I'm up 5,800. So just go slow. We're in a little choppy market here. But good job. Green is definitely good. And I know that feels good. $21.29. That's the spot on Tesla. Works, breaking down. So that's no good. FLDM couldn't break over that high. CRM, my goodness. It's good to see. It's good to see. Nice momentum there, higher priced. So we're, it's 10 a.m. I'm at 5,500 or whatever. I'll see if I can get myself up to 10,000 on the day. We'll see. Yep, Netflix coming up. Yep, so it looks like I stopped out on my call side of the Netflix trade. So that stopped me out at a 97-cent debit for profit. So that's the good thing about having, having the stop there, is that I wasn't watching it, but it took me out. So I gave back, obviously, well, what can you do? I gave back a little profit. I set a profit stop on it because I wanted to make sure I made money on the trade. So this is the tricky thing, though, is that it shows the P&L on the day as being minus 300, and it doesn't show you open P&L because I closed it. So then it's like, well, wait a second. How much did I make on the trade? You don't know. And that's a flaw with TD Ameritrade. It doesn't show you your total realized profit. It's honestly a major flaw because you just don't know. Without pulling back up the whole thing, you just can't tell. But anyways, I know that was a profit stop. So so I made money on that, which is good. 520 was my strike price. Now, I could say, at this point, you know what, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out for this because I still don't think it's going to break 520. I think it's going to hit, this level here and fade off of the 510 resistance. But I'm playing with unrealized profit. And if it comes all the way up to 520, then, that's it. No, I check. I'll double check, but unless they added it. Realized real profit. These are, I think, company metrics. PL open, day, percent, and year. And I don't think the year is actually gonna. I don't know. It's weird. All right. Well,